The craziest meals ever eaten on my 600-pound life.
The patients on my 600-pound life eat some of the craziest meals ever seen on TV. And in this video, we're going to break down the most insane, looking at the calories, cost, and more. Starting with James B, the man who is addicted to getting food deliveries. James's story was in season 10 of the show, and
This reminds me of that one Pokemon, what is it called, a whirlpool or some shit like that? How do you have the whirlpool build, gang? Like, why didn't the fat travel to like the bottom of your legs? Yo, they built polos in your size? This gotta be like 4X's, right? XXXXL. And bro, you know you're big when you change the shape of your shoes. This is crazy right here, man.
he weighs in at a staggering 625 pounds, which won't come as a surprise when you see what he orders in for his breakfast. Obviously, I'm not American, but from the order he places, it sounds like he's ordering from IHOP, and he shares how excited he gets when he orders food.
The amount of stuff that you could get is just crazy, so I get excited. It's like the
Yo, bro, the fact that he still finds draws in his size is crazy, bro.
Super Bowl. You can get whatever you want now, you understand?
He lists off his massive order of food, which is just an insane amount for an entire family, let alone one man. Some of these items have been removed from the IHOP menu, so we'll be going with the closest item currently on their menu.
Alright, can I get the 2 slices of Steakhouse Premium Pancake?
They have steak pancakes? Forget a steak pancake. There's a premium version of that shit? Like it wasn't already enough to have steak with their pancakes?
Can I get the Game Day Family Feast? Can I get the original?
Y'all think he tried to say stack? It's one thing to be obese, but you're illiterate too.
Can I get the original French toast?
His first order of Steakhouse Premium.
I've never seen a more big back looking pancake in my life. You have bits of steak infused in the pancake. This is just disgusting. I'm not even gonna lie, I wouldn't even want this type of shit.
Pancakes consists of 2 pancakes with smoked bacon pieces and caramel sauce, and he orders 2 of these. He then adds a Game Day
In
family
caramel sauce? There's just some things that just don't look like they mix well. That's one of those things.
feast, which consists of 8 pancakes, 8 bacon strips, 4 servings of scrambled eggs, hash browns, and 8.
Okay, why don't you just get a family feast? It says family for a reason, gang. Yo, and this is just the morning. We're not even saving room for lunch or dinner.
Sausage links. And he isn't done yet. He orders some original French toast and finally 2 slices of ham.
You see, okay, this I get. Hey, if you want to overdose on this looks good.
This mammoth breakfast comes to $84 and around 7,500 calories. And he hasn't even brushed his teeth.
I'm actually curious, like, how often do y'all think they take shits? Plus, y'all also gotta understand, with how big they are, do they fit in regular commercial toilets? I'm just thinking, imagine how much of their ass sacks just droops away from the toilet. I wouldn't be surprised if they broke toilets before. Not to mention, because of how enlarged their butt is, their number 2's gotta be insane. You gotta damn near clog up the toilet on some shit. I feel bad for this family.
Yeah, it seems hard to believe that it totals this many calories, but
the total calorie intake you're supposed to have a day is what, 2,200? Something along the lines of that? It does look good though. I'm gonna give him that.
seeing the amount of food on the table in front of him shows the reality of the situation. The most shocking part about this is that he actually finishes every single item he orders and still wants more.
So, when breakfast is over, then I'm already thinking about lunch. I do get full, but it's temporary. Then I'm already back on the phone, looking at what I'm gonna get for lunch.
Now, obviously, James needs to change his eating habits quickly if he wants to lose weight.
Okay, but where is he getting his money from? That's the problem, bro. Y'all gotta understand, for fat people to be eating that much food, especially that much in the morning, they gotta be making bread. And clearly, I don't think you're making any bread if your build is like that. Either you're probably like a genius IT computer science guy and you work from home, because you're definitely not doing no construction. I don't even think they got safety equipment built in this type of surroundings, gang.
Newsletter, the Fat Loss Kitchen could be the key for him and anyone else looking to lose weight while not eating boring meals. Every single Friday, I will send you a recipe for one of these homemade, diet-friendly meals, all completely free. All you have to do is visit the link in my description or visit fatlosskitchen.com to get—
Amazing, man. Yeah, put food in a video critiquing fat people. Yeah, let's hope they don't find these meals. And I ain't gonna lie, promoting free weight loss meals, like, do you think big people are gonna see this and think to themselves, okay, all I gotta do is just eat this one meal? Bro, they're gonna eat everything in your catalog.
Get started. And James isn't the only patient with a big appetite for breakfast, as Dolly, who appeared in the same season,
Do y'all think when you get fat, your meat also gets fat?
shocked viewers with the sheer amount of eggs she uses every single day. Dolly
How much?
Martinez is someone my subscribers already know all about, as I've just released a video calling her the most immature patient ever on the show, and for good reason, after she moved into a drug den to avoid doctor now, but her diet is somehow even more shocking than that. She lives with her best friend Cheyenne, who to be honest could also be a star on the show, and this means that they both indulge each other's bad habits. So when Dolly asks for 15 eggs for breakfast, Cheyenne didn't bat an eyelid. Obviously, egg prices are insane at the moment in America. With a dozen eggs—
Look. It's one thing eating that much eggs. If you're gonna gain calories, at least gain the calories with good eats. I hope I find one meal in this video that I'm like, you know what? At least they got good taste. Why do you need that much eggs?
Costing around $5.50. So on average, the amount of eggs alone probably cost her $7. To make matters worse, a single egg has around 70 calories in, and not even taking into account the oil she used for cooking, this is around 1,100 calories worth of egg. And she doesn't stop there, adding as much cheese as she could physically hold into her eggs. Obviously, there's no exact number here as she just gets a fistful, but let's be generous and say that that's 500 grams of cheddar cheese, which would be yet another 2,000 calories, bringing breakfast to 3,100 calories. It should come at no surprise then that when she's finally weighed, the scales show a staggering number.
Step down. We're gonna be going to room 5.
How did that happen? It's actually a lot more than I thought I was going to see. There's no way I gained that much. So that makes no sense. That's impossible unless my scale at home must be wrong.
Somehow Dolly thinks that her diet couldn't have brought her to that weight, and Dr. Now was quick to explain how dangerous her situation had become.
All right, so you are 593 pounds and you 5'2".
Do you need a doctor to tell you how dangerous your situation is? You are literally walking around with an oxygen mask. You can't even breathe normally anymore.
Yes, sir.
So your BMI is 108. So that's a very high BMI. And your body is under a lot of strain because of that.
And just like Dolly, Maya's body was under a lot of strain too, caused by her addiction to fast food drive-thrus. Maya appeared in season 7 of the show and started her episode weighing over 600 pounds, and it's not hard to see how she got there. Because she's so large, despite being able to walk around and bathe herself, her boyfriend Christian needs to do pretty much everything else for her. This makes her attitude—
Come on, gang. You know it's already hard to find clothing in this size. But you gonna give her what are these, fishnets? Just give her some ankle socks. Why would you want to constrict her body like that?
Everything else for her. This makes her attitude even more frustrating, as she lies to her boyfriend about where she goes during the day.
He doesn't know when I go to get food because
At the very least, you know she's not gonna go too far. You know? That's a good thing.
I'm dressed to go out and I tell him it's for errands. But it's a lie.
Errands? What errands? Besides drive-thrus, what errands are you running?
Because the only thing I'm going to do is eat.
Maya lies to her boyfriend so she doesn't feel judged and embarrassed about going to multiple drive-thrus. This may sound obvious, but I think it's quite clear that Christian knows she goes to the drive-thrus and just wants to keep the peace. In the car to the drive-thrus, Maya admits that sometimes she will go to 4 places in a row, which is more than most people will go to in an entire—
4? Like on some indecisive shit, or are you ordering from every one of those restaurants?
A month, let alone in a single morning. Her first stop is McDonald's, and her order is mammoth to say the least.
Can I get 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg, and cheese, and a sausage muffin with egg?
So with her order of 2 sausage burritos, a bacon, egg and cheese, and a sausage and egg muffin, this brings her calories to start her morning to around 1,200 and costs around $15.
Okay, that's some light shit. 1,200. You know, you still got like, what, 800 more? I believe in her, bro. Let's not be too judgy now. That ain't that bad.
But this wasn't enough, and Maya isn't full yet.
There's no words for that feeling when you taste something you love. It's incredible, but it feels like that meal is gone in a second. So I move on to the next things I'm craving.
Next, she pulls up to the Arby's drive-thru and puts through another massive order.
Can I get a beef and cheddar sandwich, jalapeno roast beef slider, and your ultimate BLT sandwich?
With the beef and cheddar sandwich, a jalapeno roast beef slider, and an ultimate
From where?
BLT sandwich.
Did that shit say Arby's? Now I see who keeping them in business. There's probably a few individual big back ass people that are keeping Arby's in business. Now we know who wants the meats.
Bar has the most calories of any of her meals this morning, all confirmed. She digs in yet again. She decides to enter a spree of drive-thrus here. and finishes her morning having eaten 2,679 calories and having spent $31, which is probably enough to feed 2 or 3 people. I'm going to make a full video on Maya, as her addiction to food was so strong and her relationship with her family was made extremely difficult because of that. So make sure you listen to—
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. You should not be a fat baby. If your kid is fat, that's not even the kid's fault. Bro, you're overfeeding your baby. You should not be doing that.
Doctor now and subscribe to my channel.
I encourage everybody to subscribe to the Craig's YouTube channel and enjoy the videos.
Now, although Maya hid her food addiction, Bethany was much more brazen about hers, as she has her children bring her a ridiculous amount of fast food to binge on. Bethany's episode starts with her saying she hates her life and she's in constant misery. At 40 years old and over 600 pounds, she needs her 10-year-old daughter to help her get ready for the day. She has another 18-year-old daughter that does cook for her, and she does start by cooking her mother a breakfast.
So you can't even reach down for your feet, gang?
Of 3 eggs and some toast. This is just a normal breakfast and obviously isn't too crazy. However, Bethany gets hungry during the making of this breakfast, so has a muffin and a bun and a packet of what looks like crackers before she has her breakfast. This is pretty tame as far as 600-pound life breakfasts go though, and the real shocking meal comes later into her episode as she orders a pizza feast all for herself. When her daughter—
I can just imagine asking her for a slice of pizza. I deadass think she would be enraged. I want to see someone pull a prank on someone like extremely big and eat a slice just to see how they react. Cause like hypothetically speaking, what could they do besides raise their voice? And that's if they can, cause I don't feel like their oxygen tank is that high.
daughters arrive home from school, they order a meal consisting of 2 pizzas and a massive box of multiple slices of garlic bread.
W
I'm trying to find a
eats.
specific restaurant, but not being from America and my knowledge of the fast food chains over there being limited, we have to make some assumptions here. So it looks like 2 large mushroom and pepper pizzas, which would have around 3,000 to 4,000 calories in total. But what really takes the cake is the massive box of cheesy garlic bread.
See, that just looks good. I can't even blame him.
She orders for basically all herself.
That's when food became this thing in life, like it is now, where I have to have it.
At my count, there's 15 slices there, and at minimum 350 calories per slice.
Yeah, and I highly doubt that they come as a combo. She definitely had to order multiple that they said, F it, man, we have to put this shit in a pizza box.
That totals up to 5,250 calories just on garlic bread. She does give a couple of slices of pizza and a slice of garlic bread to her daughters, but not too much. And it looks like it's safe to assume that she ate—
Well, you need to start giving them more than you're eating, cause damn.
no less than 8,000 calories in this one meal. She does leave the crusts though, so maybe she saved some calories there.
The only thing that could help me escape it was food, so I was just eating my way through life at that time and gaining. So I put on another 100 pounds after that and got up to the 400s by the time I was 15.
Now, like Maya before—
You know damn well her ass did eat the crust. You can't be a big person and be a picky eater. You're not that picky, bro.
Bethany, Karina also tries to hide her food habit, but in a very different way. Featuring in season 6 of the show, and much like the other stars, her first thought every morning is that she survived the night. Her following thought is wondering what she's going to have for breakfast, which is the sad reality of living with a deep food addiction. She lives with her parents, and the only time she leaves the house is to the grocery store with them, while being carried in the back of their people carrier. But she only does this so she knows her parents are going to buy what she wants from the store.
My parents have to drive me, and I sit in the back of the van on the floor, so they literally had to fold the seats in the—
Oh my fucking god. Yo, imagine being big and having a list. On top of all of that, I know her ass probably is a heavy breather. Let me get garlic pizzas, please. Alright, extra butters, please. Damn, bro. Triple whammy.
van down, put a blanket on the floor.
As she's wheeled around the store, her parents do not question anything she wants. Ice cream, chips, cakes, and more.
That's her parents? Yo, bro, she looks like a full-fledged adult. Y'all gotta really put her life straight.
Nothing being off limits. Even though her parents don't question her meals and know she eats a massive amount of food, she still attempts to hide her addiction. When her parents leave for the evening and go to dinner, Karina allows herself to order even more food.
I have 2 medium pizzas with pepperoni and sausage, 1 order of your cheese sticks, 24 honey chip—
Did it not tell y'all she talks like that?
Chipotle wings, and the double chocolate chip brownie.
Delivery or carry out?
This will be for delivery. Thank you.
When the food arrives and is laid out on the bed, Karina rubs her hands together as she looks at the mountain of food in front of her. Starting with the medium pizzas, they probably have at minimum 2,500 calories in them each. And I'm not sure what restaurant she got them from, but if we go off the Papa John's menu, those 24 wings will have another 2,500 calories in them. The majority of the calories coming from the sauce.
24 wings?
With a brownie, with one square having 250 calories.
Okay.
So another 2,000.
But can you blame her though? Come on, gang. We all need a little dessert. Even though she is pretty big bag, everything she's ate so far, respectable eats. 24 wings though? 24?
50 calories there, and a garlic bread, which is at minimum 1,000 calories.
Why are garlic breads that much? One garlic bread is half of your diet. It's crazy.
In this absolute feast, she will devour around 8,250 calories, which explains how her weight has ballooned to this size and has now meant that her bed needs to be held.
Yo, gang. They got construction work happening underneath your bed, gang. That is not right. You need cement blocks to hold up your bed. You not a little ashamed?
Up with cinder blocks.
It makes me
If that's the case, what is the wheelchair made of?
feel warm and good inside, if only for a short while. But I'm afraid that one day I'm just gonna need too much. I'm probably gonna die from a heart attack, or I'm gonna suffocate. But I can't stop myself.
This somehow wasn't as big as the next patient's meal though, which actually was so large it made headlines in the news. In season 11 of the show, we met Chris, whose legs are so fat that they push against each other, meaning he can barely stand up. Despite this, he can take care of himself.
Okay, out of all the builds I've seen, this is perhaps one of the more respectable builds.
And do most daily tasks.
Yeah, he
which
can actually
includes making
move.
his own breakfast.
My weight.
That means it's not too late, gang. Oh my goodness. Please don't tell me that's bacon, gang. There is no reason why your bacon should be looking like pasta. That's how you know there's too much bacon in that.
It's challenging to cook the kind of breakfast that I want because of the weight and the.
Is your belly overshadowing your meat? So you gotta lift that big ass shit if you want to start choking your chicken? Like, how do you put into work with this build?
The fat between my legs, I can't stand up straight, so they're constantly pushing apart, which makes it really uncomfortable to stand in the kitchen for a long period of time. So I actually have to sit on a cooler that I sit on when I cook.
This is the scene which made headlines and led to comments such as, "This is my food for an entire week." And honestly, it isn't an exaggeration. Now, it's pretty impossible to track the calories of this meal as he just has a pan full of bacon, another massive pan full of scrambled eggs, sausages in the oven, and of course, cheese to melt on top. Chris puts all of these in.
Okay, this might be a dumb question. Do y'all think they're addicted to the taste, or do y'all think they're just super hungry? Of course, those are not exclusive from each other, but I'm just saying, like, if you had to say which one was more, hunger or taste?
Ingredients into a breakfast burrito, of which he makes 12. 12 whole breakfast burritos smothered in sauce.
I make the meal with my stomach, not with my brain. So I have a really big meal. And when I start eating, as soon as I hit that first bite, I eat it all. I call it going red. I can't stop.
He doesn't.
Going red? So we have terminology for crashing out over food? Oh yeah, nah, I be seeing red. And seeing red in question is eating food. Wow.
Even take these burritos to a table and prefers to eat them at the kitchen bench to allow him to devour them quicker. Although Chris didn't eat a healthy meal, at least he made an effort to cook his food, which can't be said about Holly.
Oh yeah, he might be eating like shit, but guess what? He at least cooks what he's eating. Wait, no, that's like giving extra credit for some bullshit. Oh yeah, we might have bombed a village, but guess what? There was actually 3 children we saved. I don't think that makes it any better, bro. Yes, I guess he's saving money.
Who decided on the day before her weigh-in at the doctor's office, she would order a greasy Chinese meal. Now, there's not really an insane amount of food here.
Okay, anyone that actually eats onions recreationally, you're genuinely fat. There's no way people actually like eating onions, right?
Yeah, well, maybe it is for the average person, but the real craziness comes from the timing of her decision to get this Chinese food, which is obviously extremely high in fat, oil, and salt.
Since we just moved in, we're not really set up to cook. So we're ordering delivery from places around here a lot until we
Y'all moved in? I just know that process was so gruesome for y'all. Shout out to y'all though, bro. Y'all got this.
can get some pots and pans and stuff to cook with. But Ray said he's gonna look for a job tomorrow.
Like, how is he eating onions like that?
He'll get all that while he's out, and we can start prepping healthy meals.
Holly uses the excuse that she's just moved into her home and she can't afford pots and pans. But looking at the size of her Chinese order, surely that could have been swapped for something healthy and bought some pans to cook with. So she has a massive Chinese meal on the night, knowing full well in the morning she's going for her weigh-in with the doctor, in which she has a goal to lose 50 pounds, and that goes about as well as you're expecting.
Okay, that's good.
I'm really upset, and I don't understand why my progress isn't that good.
They were supposed to lose more weight?
So I'm shocked and confused and nervous to hear what Dr. Now is going to say.
She doesn't lose as much weight as Dr. Now was expecting, which caused him to question why she values food and chocolate over living. This led to one of his angriest moments, and if you want to see the rest of Dr. Now's angriest moments...
Anyways, YouTube, those are the craziest meals ever eaten on my 600-pound life. Let me know the craziest meal you've ever eaten. Make sure you guys join us on Twitch. Make sure you guys subscribe, bro, to 900K, all that good stuff, man. Boxer for life. Love y'all.